Well, hello and good morning, Facebook community. Alejandro Tornato here, and I am so glad uh, to be doing this Facebook Live with you once again. Now, you may say, but today is Sunday, and I was used to watch you or watch the replays of the sessions or the segments that you were doing a little while ago on Saturday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern Time, a segment that I called Coffee, Ideas, and Connecting with Me. And you could, if you watch those episodes, I mean, you saw me with either a blue or a yellow coffee mug because that was part of the segment. And um, I love to do those segments. I love to do Facebook Lives. I love to connect with a community of like-minded people. But the more that I thought about it, and this came as a result of listening to mentors such as Les Brown and Paul Martinelli and a few others, I mean, who very frequently repeated this phrase, speakers speak. Speakers speak. And what that means basically is that if speaking, if connecting with people, if sharing with other people is your passion, is something that really moves you, something that you're always or you're constantly trying to find and create new content or to deliver content, I mean, from other people with a different perspective, with a different point of view. If being in front of a camera is not something that inhibits you, or is if you're not afraid, or being in front of a camera does not paralyze you or frighten you, if that is what truly is the desire of your heart, then if you consider yourself a speaker, then follow this. Speakers speak, and speakers take every opportunity, not only take every opportunity, but create opportunities for speaking, for sharing, for adding value to other people, and enhance the life's experiences of other people through sharing good, valuable, informative, and great content. And so as I was thinking about that, then I decided and I said, well, rather than do the Saturday morning segment, why not to do two segments during the week? And I came with the idea to do one on Sundays at around 11 o'clock. And right now it's 11:03 here in Beaufort, Georgia, 11:03 Eastern Time. And so I said to myself, yes, I talk to myself very often. I don't know. I mean, if you are a little bit like me, I mean, if you just talk to yourself because you just bounce ideas, not just with the walls that surround you, but ideas with yourself, and just think aloud. Just bring ideas and wrestle with those ideas. And so I said, well, why don't I do two segments? I do one on Sunday mornings, and I'm going to call this one quote of the week, or weekly quote, but I mean quote of the week, because I want to share with you a particular quote. And as we move forward, every Sunday in the morning, I'm going to be sharing a quote. And I'm not going to do a lengthy teaching on the quote, but I'm going to say what that quote says to me, how that quote speaks to me, to my heart, to my life. How can I embrace that quote and make that teaching in that quote applicable to my life? If I have not already made it applicable to my life, how can I bring that into it? And what I would like to do is I would like interaction with you, with the audience. I would like for all of you who watch me live or who watch and catch the replay afterwards, I want you to tell me and to share with me how that quote impacted you. How is that quote? Does it say something that is really profound, that you can take it and you can own it and you can begin doing whatever it is that I will share with you through those quotes? And I hope that during that week that you would come back to that quote and reflect on that quote and see how that quote is making a change in your life. If it is making a change in your life, if that quote is speaking to you, how is it speaking to you? How are you going to change things in your life? Not change your entire life, but maybe change an area of your life based on what that quote says. And so that's one of the segments that I'm going to that I'm starting today to do. And then the second segment that I'm going to do, because remember, speakers speak, and it's just creating opportunities to do more of what you love to do, of what I love to do. And so the second segment, I'll do that on Wednesdays, middle of the week. Sometimes I'll do it. I mean, if I can do it on Wednesday mornings, perhaps at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. If I cannot, then I'll move it to Wednesday evenings. But I'll do it on Wednesdays, okay? And that is going to be not quotes, but it's going to be a segment based on my Facebook public page, which is Transformational Mentoring with me. I'm going to select a topic. Sometimes, I mean, we'll do a mini series on a book that I read or that I'm currently reading, and things that are impacting me, my life. And then I want to share those things with you. And also, I would like interaction with all of you. I just want to know if there's something different that you want me to do, or if there's a particular subject or a particular topic that perhaps, I mean, you've been wrestling with, or that you want a little bit more expansion upon, and going into more details about that. So this is going to be something that I'm going to be feeding, I mean, from what you will tell me, will guide me through. But if not, I mean, things that I am currently doing, I mean, perhaps a topic that was a troublesome topic for me, that I have conquered, that or that I am still wrestling through. I want to share that with you, and I want to be accountable to you, so we can just help one another. This is the whole point of perhaps with time building a community of and a tribe of like-minded people, people who are ready to keep growing in your life, to keep developing more influence in the world, who want to really make a difference, who want to make an impact, who really want to transform yourself into the very best version of yourself. This is what it's all about. And so I told you what I want to start doing. So let's get down and let's get ready. And here is the first quote that I want to share with you. This is from Andrew Hendrickson. And Mr. Hendrickson says, anyone who has ever made anything of importance was disciplined. Anyone who has ever made anything of importance, not just anyone who has ever made anything, hopefully every single person, whether you like it or not, you have during your life up until now, you have made something. But that's not what the quote says. It says anyone who has ever made anything of importance was disciplined. And I wanted to share this quote with you because that speaks to me in two areas. The first area, before I get into the issue of importance or impact or influence, I want to bring your attention to the word disciplined. Anybody who has made anything worthy of themselves, they exerted discipline. And I'm sharing that with you because, and I'm going to be very, very vulnerable with you. You see, vulnerability is the secret sauce of connection. You cannot connect with anybody if you put a barrier between you and the other person. It's impossible. It is impossible to connect with someone at a deeper level if you're not prepared to be vulnerable with the other person or with the group that you are trying to connect with. So vulnerability it's a key, essential element for connection. So the way that this quote speaks volumes to me is because not always in my life I was a disciplined person. I struggled for many, many years with self-discipline. I did. You see, I grew up um, in Buenos Aires, in Argentina. I grew up in a middle income family, and we were a very small family. It was my mother, my stepfather, and myself. I don't have any siblings. It was just me. And you would say that all the attention that was given in that family was giving it to me. But it was giving it to me from the wrong side, I would say. Because the word disciplined never entered into the picture as I was growing up. As a matter of fact, I'm going to tell you, and I'm sorry for going a little bit long this time. You never know, what's going to happen. But I want to share this story with you, because as I thought this, what this did for me, it didn't do much good. I can tell you that. It didn't do much good. I think that it did quite harm to me in future years. I remember I was in high no I was I was in high school. I was almost finishing. I was doing the last year, the senior year of high school. And in Argentina, in Buenos Aires, during that year, we had a class that was called technical drawing. Technical drawing. So you had to go, to school, with a T-ruler and squares and protractors and rulers and a big piece of paper. And so it was just technical drawing. It was drawing things, and sometimes you have to draw them in pencil, and then after that you have to draw them in ink. And I had a very demanding teacher. I remember she was, it was, for me, it was a torture class, because I never liked drawing. As a matter of fact, I hated that class. I hated drawing. I could not stand it. And not only I hated it, but I was bad at it. I wasn't any good at it. I didn't have skills in drawing. That's why I did chemical engineering and never crossed my mind doing civil engineering or mechanical engineering, because they were heavily into doing drawings, and I didn't like it. And so I remember that I had to prepare a project in that class, and my stepfather was excellent at drawing. It was something that he loved to do, and he was excellent at it. He was excellent doing it. And guess what? I don't know. If you're beginning to get the train of that story. So what happens was that instead of forcing me to keep working at it, even if I didn't like it, but to keep working at it and to keep being consistent at it and to not give up on that, everybody resulted, to go the easy way. And so it says, okay, my stepfather actually did the project for me. I never had to do anything. He did it. And we were all very happy. I certainly was happy because I passed the class. So I was happy. But the key was this. Was that temporary happiness at that moment, was that going to serve me as a person, as a human being later on in my life? And let me tell you that the answer was no. Of course, that after growing up and after moving on and after years of suffering with not having a strong self-discipline, I was not able to give myself a command and follow through with it and do it, because the foundation that I had was not a strong foundation, was quite weak. And what happens when you build something, a building, on a weak foundation? Well, that building is in very dangerous in a very dangerous zone of collapsing. Why? Because the foundation cannot stand the weight. And so this quote, anyone who has ever made anything of importance was disciplined. I learned this lesson later on, much later on in my life. And what a benefit, what a privilege. If people at a young age can learn the beauty of self-discipline, the beauty of giving yourself a command and no excuses whatsoever. Follow through with that. And doing that over and over and over and over and over and over again. Because the more you do it, you're strengthening that self-discipline muscle. And then it's just going to be second nature. It's like developing that habit of self-discipline, the habit of being a disciplined person. So that's what I wanted to share with you. Now, before I go, I want you to comment below. How is that speaking to you? How is this? Do you have a story that you can relate to you being self-disciplined or having struggled in the area of discipline, as I shared with you? I would love to interact with you. I would love your comments. I would definitely love this time together to be of mutual profit, that we can learn and grow together. So, up until the next time, as always, I encourage you to be kind, be passionate, be well.